Well, good morning, everybody. We're on the way to Barrow-in-Furness today. Nice little trip out towards and past the Lake District. Barrow-in-Furness, it was named because back in the 17th century, when they built the first submarine manufacturing base, they had a very big furnace and people had to take the coal by a barrow up to the furnace, hence the reason it was called Barrow-in-Furness. And that's a big load of rubbish, but I thought, well, hey, why not? See you when we get there. Before I alight the train, you can't really help but notice that, and I'm going to swing around quickly, that the platform at Bolton is actually quite long. And there's a bit of an anomaly here in that there is a peculiar anomaly here whereby there is a train to Edinburgh and it actually stops at Bolton, but it only lets people off. It doesn't let people on. And yes, you worked that one out too. Well, we've made it in one piece after nearly a 2-hour journey. Actually, very pleasant reading, looking out the window. Some of the views as you come towards Barrow, really across out into the Irish Sea and across Morecambe Bay, are absolutely fabulous. Anyway, we're here. It's very windy. It's a little bit cool, but let's get on to the town. Well, not quite the most effusive welcome to the town, but listen, we're here, and it's meant to be a right eclectic mix of Victorian architecture, harking back to industrial, I think it's steel making, and of course the maritime industry. So we'll go and have a look around. Actually, some nice buildings there straight off. So with my fascination for architecture, let's get fascinating. Very impressive Furness Building Society building. And this first glimpse of the town reveals the Duke of Edinburgh Hotel. Well, hey, I wonder, is he in there by any chance? And I presume that's down to the town. And you can see just in the distance there some of BAE Systems' wonderful buildings, where the Airfix building, where they put the nuclear submarines together using a whole load of Gorilla Glue. And the direction the other side is, well, that's the way in, I presume. And with my encyclopedic knowledge of football, I can reveal, thanks to the plate down there, that this is Emlyn Hughes, one of the famous residents born here. My encyclopedic knowledge of football, of course, extends to the fact that I know that the football generally tends to be round, and I believe people kick it and mustn't touch it with their hands. The exception being, of course, the goalie. Nice looking building at the other end of the Edinburgh Hotel. House furnishers. Well, there may be a bit of Mr. Blue Sky, but I'm afraid the sun ain't shining in the sky, because it's all grey today. Seems to be a bit of a chess setty thing going on here. Presumably that's the king. Yes. And then we've got the bishop. And then, well, whatever that is, outside the law courts. Hey, checkmate. Well, they said the streets are quite wide. We've got the usual cycle lane with no, well, it's a psychopath with no psychopaths in it. And breads and takeaway with cakes. That seems to have been taken away. And beside the law courts, we're straight off with a bit of Victorian stuff and Euronics. Oh, sorry. And there we are on the corner. We found our spoons. We didn't find our spoons last time out. This is Dalton Road, I presume, one of the main shopping streets. Pedestrianised, needless to say. And the Derby Hotel. 1900. With the Derby Inn beside it. Good name for an inn. Named Derby Inn if it's beside the Derby Hotel. And it's just midday, and as you can see, teeming with people. Well, teeming with a person. Yes, the community grocers, well fed. They don't seem to be feeding anybody at the minute, sadly. Ah, here we go. perfunctory seagulls waiting for lunch. Nothing from me, chaps, I'm afraid. Don't turn your back on me, I'm speaking to you. Seems to be a fair few, as expected, closed shops, unfortunately. Even a health shop seems to be, well, not a shop, but a health place. Oh, Steffi's restaurant, with some more closed ones beside. Nice little outdoor seating area. Ah, the sun has come out. Thank you, Jeff, then, Mr. Blue Sky and all that sort of stuff. And, oh, there's somebody on their Rolls Royce. Ah, a PIP consultation centre. Folletto Freehold. Maybe there not too many people going in there to see exactly how much they can massage their PIP with their dubious disabilities. And that's with due respect to all the genuine PIP recipients. Purdy's Bakehouse. Oh, it's still open, so it's not half baked. And animal welfare. Oh, I do like a bit of animal welfare. But again, it's shop to rent. It's closed. Oh dear, this is getting rather depressing. Everything more closeted than opened. And as you can see down there, BAE Systems dominating the skyline wherever you go. Oh, I'll have to walk around. Oh, another fancy scooter. And NC Meets. Isn't he a DJ or something? NC. Oh no, that's MC. Sorry. Oh, Mobility Solutions. Or swimming pool. That's a mobility solution. The RNLI. Oh no, it's not. It's just a shop that you. This is, I'm afraid. Well, I'll keep my mouth shut. Somebody phone Jeff Bezos and tell him he's completely ruined this particular street. Sorry about my blowing there. Just had a bee land on my back of my hand. Ah, Halo. They're plainly not running rings around anybody this morning. Running rings. Sorry, I'll stop that. I promise, honestly. Oh, food. The Cumberland. Does that mean it's a sausage? Shall we go for a giggles in Diggles? A few barber shops around, but that's to be expected. Well, with all the seagulls around, maybe they should see about renting some of these vacant shops. And that's another street. Well, obviously it's a street. Aren't I a stupid bugger? Oh, and again, BAE Systems at the bottom. Fat Bob's, DVD and records. Oh, he's open as well. I really must consider getting a vinyl playing machine. I gave all my, well, I got rid of all my, oh, sorry, Mr. Siegel. I got rid of all my first edition rock albums from all those years ago in the days when you thought, well, records are just in the way. I have since seen some of them, particularly the very first Yes and Genesis and ELO pressings on eBay at a fortune. Body care have closed. Presumably they don't care about people's bodies. And Costa. And the yellow arches. Well, you've got the yellow arches everywhere. I should have taken a picture of one of their new super slurpy derpy burpy burgers or whatever and gone into them and said, can I have one that looks like this it does in your advert, please? And store 21, I must be a little bit early, it being just after 12 o'clock for it to be open, says he, being rather satirical and nasty. King Shop. Oh, excuse me, as His Majesty would say. Well, not one to be overtly pessimistic, but this is, how can we put it? Overtly depressing? I don't know. With apologies to the good people of Barrow-in-Furness. As we wander along, just tell you some of the famous people who have come from here. Stella Rimington, the first female, is it CEO, director, spook in chief of MI5. She was born and raised here. And Peter Purvis, he of Blue Peter, give him a Blue Peter badge. He was born and raised here. And the famous Maurice Flitcroft, he who made a film about him, he who conned his way to playing golf in was the 1976 Open Championship, and he won. Well, he didn't quite win. He got the lowest score possible. Postman Pat and Rosie and Jim were born here, care of the author John Cunliffe, who was raised and born here, born and raised here. Well, he could have been raised and born. Let's have a bit of opposite stuff, seeing they go on with all this EDI stuff. Raised before you were born. Why not? Let's be different. And one of my own culinary heroes was born and raised here, and that's Dave Myers, one of the hairy bikers. But that's enough famous people. Well, not quite enough, actually. W.H. Awdry, he got some of his inspiration for Thomas the Tank Engine here. Well, inspiration? Maybe some of his desperation, I don't know. Sorry again, anybody from Barrow-in-Furness who's watching this. Oh, I'm sure there's a poem in there somewhere. Boroughs of Barrow. Cocoa Nail Spa. And as I was looking at that building in a state of disrepair, what do we see beside the King's Free House? But there we go. A remembrance to the man I just spoke about, the wonderful Dave Myers. Well, with the sun out, it's a bit warmer, and you can hear, well, I can anyway, the squawk of the seagulls. But what I can smell is the smell of the sea, and it's wonderful because we don't really get the smell of the sea in Bolton much. And there's somebody being statuesque in the middle of the road. Craven House. Is that Craven A? Oh, Barrow Borough Council. Ah, it's the council offices next to the Majestic Hotel. And I think we're going to come round now to a big surprise, and that is the wonderful town hall. And there it is. Oh, Barrow Trumps, the game featuring local landmarks. Why not? That's a nice little shop with all these locally made artistic-y bits, I must say. Candles and very nice too. Well, personally, nil comparison between the architecture of the Majestic Hotel and the Holiday Inn Express beside it. Although I can't knock the Holiday Inn Express. I've stayed in several of them over the years, and they're really very good. They do an excellent breakfast. Right, let's go and have a close inspection of the town hall, shall we? Oh, Barrow Market seems a bit closeted. A lot closeted, in fact. With more empty shops. Oh, we'll have a look here. There seems to be an entrance here. See if it's open, shall we? Nope, it seems Barrow Market is not marketing today. Unless, judging by the closed shops beside it, I have a feeling it's, oh gosh, and then straight opposite a Wilko that's gone. But now this is very, very pleasant and majestic. Let's have a look at the top. Very nice too. The Forum Theatre, I'm not too sure if it's foruming or not, but it's got plenty of lighty things to light up the town hall opposite. All these colourly things leading down to the town hall. What an impressive building that is, on the flag flying atop. These buildings are wonderful. I don't care what anybody says. Fabulous. Let's go and have a look at the other end. Beautiful. And there we are, a blue plate that's not a blue plate. 14th of July 1887, Barrow Town Hall, designed by W.H. Lynn of Belfast. Barclays, not too sure that's the bank or whatever. Barrow Town Hall Coffee Shop, now open. Oh, there's the balcony. Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair. And coat of arms on that side. And another one on that side. Talking of Barclays, I mean, I don't know if that was the bank or not in there, but I just read this morning dateline being the 2nd of July 2026, that the Halifax name as a bank is, oh, sorry about the wind, is about to disappear. Yes, they're rebranding as Lloyds Group the whole way across the Halifax banking system. Nothing much will change, but yes, another great name seems to be sort of disappearing, although they have said in their typical blurb when they announced it in the paper this morning that they're proud of their heritage in Halifax. But if you're so proud, why are you changing it to Lloyd's? Oh, goodness me. A little bit more sort of, a little bit more nothing. Anyway, we've got the side of the council house here, Cornwallis Hall, council tax. Oh, that's what you need to get on. I'll go across the road and let's have a look at this from the other side. And there's the side aspect of the town hall. I still think, I know I say this every time, but to have built this without cherry pickers and JCBs and the like, quite incredible. There's the thing I was telling you about. Take a picture of that and go into McDonald's and say, can I have one that looks like it does in the advert, please? Oh, Cumbria in bloom. Well, Barrow in bloom. Oh, very nice flowers too. And then we can see just opposite, I'll lift up a bit. Well, hey, the Jefferson's Hotel and Serviced Apartments. Whoa. We're having a chat about knife crime. Sorry, I missed that. Yeah.
About the knife crime
Mhm.
in Belfast, and it was devastating the way when I seen the video. It was
There's no two ways about it.
was
No two ways.
horrendous, it
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know certainly around where I live that there's what they call the knife boxes where they say, you know, no
Yeah.
recriminations, just shove it in there. And I'm quite friendly with one of the local policemen who
Yeah.
does the trips around, and it just never ends, does it?
Oh,
It's just awful.
yeah.
I mean, the fact that you can't own anything or have any
No.
pride in anything, and then you've
No.
got the threat of somebody chucking a bit of metal into the side of you. Oh gosh.
Oh yeah, the police are ridiculous. They don't hardly do out that much.
It's all this correctness and this the EDI they're talking about now, and you know yourself.
Yeah, corruption. I say. That's what I say
You know,
all the time.
At times, not far wrong.
Oh, I know, right?
But listen, I've delayed you in this. It's a bit cold, isn't it, today? Thanks very much. Listen, lovely to chat
Nice
with you.
to meet you.
Nice to meet somebody
All
local and your good self. Thanks very much. Take care. Well, what a nice young man and his friends. Friends was a bit shy, but what lovely. It's just so nice to meet somebody local. And to those who keep saying, get a bit of people in. Yes, well, I have get a few people in. Well, I have done. Oh, crikey, the noise of the bus. Well, that's the other side of Jefferson's, and quite impressive in its own peculiar way. And the Marmaris Grill. I've actually been to a grill in Marmaris. That's in Turkey, for those that don't know. New home centre, genuine 100% park exchange value. And let's say we'll just keep wandering down this way. Well, as we wander down, we'll just tell you that Barrow in Furness, it's the home to Cumbria's largest grey seal colony. Grey Seal, that was a song on, was that Goodbye Yellow Brick Road by Elton John? Or maybe it was one of his earlier albums, I'm not too sure. It's got 70 kilometres of coastline, which is, I'm certainly not going to walk it. And Barrow was once home to the largest and wealthiest monastery in the northwest of England. And it's not far from the Lake District. Well, you can see the Lake District mountains as you come in on the train. Wonderful. Honestly, the train ride is worth it. It's fabulous. Just don't do like I do and sit beside a window with half a post blocking your view. It's also, certain times of the year, a surfer's paradise. So now you know. So bring your washing machine and your surf and get washing. And you may remember that in 2011, a rather large Viking horde, madam, I said horde, was found here. And I did read, this is why I was surprised about the market. It says it's home to the largest indoor market in Cumbria, unless they haven't bothered dicking up the outside of the market that we passed by before, but it looked decidedly close to me. But we'll have a look, maybe have a look on the way back and see if it is indeed open. Oh, Anatolia now. It seems must be a bit of a Turkish influence down here. Well, there you are, folks. It has got a bank that's open. Don't see many of those. I've not seen my misspelt shop yet. I'm slacking. I know, I'm slacking. Well, the work hasn't started here. 2nd of July. So 2 days late. Ah, we seem to have struck the legal centre of the town. Seems a bit distant from the law courts, if I may say so myself. Well, of course, I'm saying it myself. I can't get across to see who that is, but I have a suspicion it might be Sir John Barrow, the geographer and explorer. And then we've got another building here. Admittedly, a bit of a stupid thing to say we've got another building here because we've got another building over there and down there and everywhere else. And as it said, yes, the roads are quite wide. This is an interesting looking, it's covered by, again, it's closed, covered by the trees. Ah, it was the St. David Apart Hotels. Another grand Victorian building. And then there's one, if we quickly, you can see the other, more on the other side of the road. Certainly plenty of good stuff. The Bar Continental seems to be a shadow of its former self. For those of a nervous disposition, we'll just quickly zoom in on the message. Council stole my car park. MP is useless. Well, you've got a new one since last year, or a couple of years ago, so don't complain too much. I believe she's quite good. She was a former mayor of Ulverston, was it? And then yet another fine Victorian building here, just boarded up, nothing happening. And it was a club, it seems, 1897, formerly opened by Sir Charles Kaiser. Ah, all has been revealed. It's the former, I presume, because it's closed, Conservative Club. Be digital. Be absorbed, says Andrex. Be inspired. And even be amazed. Ah, it's the library. Where you can be absorbed, amazed, digital, and all the rest of it. Yes, it's a PV Blick library. Coming up to a little memorial here. And as you can see, HM Australian Submarines, which of course is very much dedicated to what they build here. Nice little green space. Corian Company. All together now. That's my very bad impression of the Coronation Street theme tune. I just had a quick gansy at the Met Office app, and yes, winds of 30 kilometers an hour. And I can tell you one thing, I can certainly feel them. Hey, missus. And according to the date, 1911. And notice how I haven't made a just gone 10 past 7 joke about that. Central Fire Station. It's one that's patently not being fire stationized anymore. And as we go ahead, there we go. BAE Systems dominating the skyline. This is the John Winera Institute. Doesn't look like it's instituting at the moment, but that's somewhere in between the architectural styles of awful and bloody awful. And as we wander towards the exterior of BAE Systems, we seem to have struck across a retail shopping mall, as you can probably see. Oh, you've got to have a B&M in Iceland and Halford and Pets at Home. Yes, and there's more retail. This is the retail centre or outside centre, and I think I detect, again, this is where my football knowledge is in extremis. I see a football ground. I presume that Barrow Inverness United or Barrow Inverness City or whatever you might call it. Anyway, I'll leave it to you football fans to make it up for yourselves. When you get out the wind and come into the sunshine that's sheltered from the wind, it suddenly gets hot. Very impressed with those Omoda cars and some of the other ones. It may not quack like a duck, squawk like a duck, or look like a duck in terms of a Range Rover, but by God, they're every bit as good as a Range Rover. Although I do appreciate people like to have these big Range Rovers with their personalized number plates on just to show off. You know, it's a bit of an extension of a certain part of a gentleman's anatomy, or a lip extension for some of the wags. And this is, if you have any contracts in your back pocket for submarines and you don't know where to take them, remember, don't do a Jeff Bezos. Don't go online. Come locally. And just going to, whoops, the wind has come up again. Just going to swing in there a little bit and you can see for yourself, yes, BAE Systems. That's it. So remember, if you've got somewhere, you need somewhere for that submarine contract and it's in the back of your pocket, drop BAE Systems a line and they'll be able to build it for you. Whether it's nuclear or unclear, oh, don't you like, now there's a bit of satire for you. Nuclear, an anagram of unclear. Just come here and get it built. Don't go abroad to China because Temu do take up to 2 weeks to deliver it for you. Oh, hello. Yes, thank you very much. I'm open as well, 6 a.m. to midnight. But me, I'm 7 days a week. I see an InPost locker here. Just a little bit of information for you. Just to let you know that InPost have now taken over Yodel. And one of InPost's rules is that you can't send anything with a fixed battery. Now, I don't see anything in the blurb they keep sending me about how Yodel has now become InPost. There's nothing in there telling me that Yodel, who were quite happy to accept things with batteries in them, just sit back for a second and think how many things contain fixed batteries. Well, Yodel were quite happy with it, but InPost don't allow items with fixed batteries. So in typical fashion for a company that's owned by an enterprise abroad, is he Czechoslovakian, I think, or is he Polish? They're not being honest with their customers. So in theory, if they did as InPost did to me, which my own fault because I didn't read the small print, well, I never do. Well, I've told you so many times that I'm rather didactic. I don't bother with instructions. But they managed to, I was sending a notepad I don't use off to a friend for her young son. And Yodel sent me, not Yodel, sorry, InPost sent me a note back saying it had been delivered safely into the hands of the recipient. And then, in tandem with that, on the internet, they said that they had delivered it to a safe place. Now, this is both at the same time. They claimed it was delivered into the hands of the recipient and it was delivered to a safe place at the same time. But what did they do? They lost it. Now, I've asked them on numerous occasions for proof of the fact that they delivered it into the hands of the recipient and that they left it in a safe place, but they won't send it. It wasn't worth a fortune. It was only just the basic £50 insurance, but there you go. They lost it, and they're pulling the old wool with regards to saying, well, because it had a fixed battery and I didn't declare it, and I should have known in advance. As it happens, I did put a nice sticker on the outside saying this item contains a fully discharged battery. But no, they wouldn't shift on that. And although I did seek legal advice, and they said that, yes, according to consumer law and delivery law, they have some sort of delivery thing, this law thing is that they should have made an attempt, and I could get them for the fact that they just didn't do their basic tests and things, so to speak, to ensure it was delivered safely. Haven't a leg to stand on. But however, yes, in typical grumpy old git fashion, I'm writing to all the logistics magazines this weekend to ask them if they're aware that Yodel will now be subsumed by InPost and haven't made it clear to the consumer that you can't send stuff with fixed batteries via InPost. Incidentally, not that I'm advocating Royal Mail or anything, but it's just as cheap to send something by Royal Mail as it is by Yodel and InPost. In fact, it's often even cheaper.